All right, everybody, here we go. We are live in the Channel 3 Weather Center. I've been cutting in over on the TV side of things, and we are also updating you on Facebook here. I'm going to put on two giant microphones so everybody can hear me in all places. All right, we do have tornado warnings that are still active in Erie and Lorain counties, so let me zoom in for you a little bit here. And I'm probably also, if we get another tornado warning, I'll pop on to the TV side while I'm doing this. So I apologize. We're going to have to share. Matt is getting ready for his shows for tonight, so I came in to kind of give him some support. But we'll try and get everybody some information here. All right, here's the big picture. All right, Cleveland is getting thunder, we're hearing. But as of right now, we are not under any active warnings in the greater Cleveland area. Where the active warnings are right out here in Erie and Lorain counties specifically. And we've been watching this area of rotation that is moving right along the lakeshore. This thing has just been fascinating to watch. There's the spin, okay? So there was some damage reported west of this area that's back here. Let me put on the storm report and you can see where that is. Let me find where those doggone things are. If I have them in here, yeah. So back here, do you see this little icon that just popped in right here? This is where there was some damage reported to a residence. It was like let me read it to you. What did it say? It said Sandusky County Sheriff was reporting a bedroom destroyed at a residence off State Route 412 west of Sandusky Erie County line. So that's where that happened, okay? So we back this up, and you can see this is not terribly impressive out here, but we are far away from the radar at this point, so, we're kind of scanning high, can't really see this low-level circulation. But we do have the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center that put out a tornado watch because the conditions came together. There's a new update. We had another one. Spotter reports damage to homes and power lines near Mason Road and Perkins Township. This is the one we were just on that we were just on while we were live on the air. So that is... There we go. Okay, so the big question then, of course, is where is the actual circulation now? And it is just east of Huron. It looks like it is moving. Boy, that thing did jump. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so see this, where we have this blue here. So Matt and I saw this pop up. And I think it's kind of a rear flank downdraft coming in, okay? So green winds are coming into the radar, red goes away. And so we have these high-speed winds coming toward the radar. So the storm is putting out some kind of a outflow here. And right where that outflow came out, that's where it is. Okay, the Weather Service just updated and canceled the tornado warning for Erie and Lorain counties. So that was the southern of the two. Let me go forward here and we'll kind of catch everybody up. So there it is, all right, and then it tracks northeast. See how it jumped north a little bit? So that could be that outflow pushing it over toward Huron, and then it kind of went out over the lake. I think it's probably hugging the lakeshore. There could be a waterspout offshore. I don't think anybody would see it because there's a lot of murky rain and whatnot going on. But there's what the radar looks like, and as you can see, it's a pretty intense storm as far as the colors. Now remember, when you're looking at this type of product or data, that's called reflectivity. So it's basically you're looking at the density of the storm. For all intents and purposes, it's just how much reflective property is going on in that storm and how much of that energy is being reflected back to the radar. The brighter the colors, that means there's much more reflectivity. That would indicate high amounts of rain, big raindrops, hail, and whatnot too. If we put on the hail has not been terribly impressive with this. Remember, we're way out from the radar, too, and we're scanning up pretty high. But there has been some hail in this, and you don't necessarily need hail in a thunderstorm to get a tornado, just so everybody knows. So there's the update. Now, the Weather Service did cancel the tornado warning for Erie and Lorain County, so I'm not quite sure why our system isn't picking up on that yet. And the previous warning for Erie County just expired. That's the one that included Sandusky. So the overall picture is one that is looking better for these areas. But I have a feeling this thing is sitting right on the lakeshore or just off the lakeshore, and I think Vermilion should probably still stay safety-wise in their spots because I think this is just hugging right along that lakeshore, and why jump out just to go back in? So This is right here. That's kind of, I'm gonna draw that differently. Hold on just a second. There we go. I like this better. I'm gonna put it there, just to put it out there. Ruggles Beach, Heidelberg Beach, Orchard Beach, Vermilion, and Alberta Beach. The city of Lorain is no longer under a tornado warning, but there is obviously something amiss, and there is a whole lot of rumbling going on too. And let me back this out a bit for you, and you can see that we're not alone. There's a lot more heavy weather that's out to the west. I'm going to put in let me take these warnings off, do all these fun things, put on the satellite and radar and show you how this is progressing. Okay, so we have these thunderstorms that are along a frontal boundary that's sweeping in. So it's so warm out there, it's so muggy and soupy, and that's good ingredients for storms, but sometimes the wind field really kind of exaggerates things a bit. And the low-level wind field today is much more impressive than the upper-level wind field, at least in my opinion. And so that's why we kind of have these little squirrely low-level circulations that are going to be with us this afternoon. Out to the west, though, from Fort Wayne to Indianapolis, you can see that line that is moving eastward. That is still to come tonight. So we have to wait until we get all of this stuff through Ohio until we can really start to back down. Now, there's severe thunderstorm warnings that are out here to the west. Bowling Green is under severe thunderstorm warning right now. There's tornado warnings just southwest of Lima, and then severe thunderstorm warnings back here into Indiana as well. Now, on top of all of this, we continue to also have this flash flood watch that is in effect too. So certainly there is quite a bit going down. I just saw Joe texted that a tornado touched down in Castalia. I think that's western Ohio, right? Is that might be this one out toward Lima. I'm trying to remember exactly where Castalia is.
Erie County.
Is it Erie County? Okay. I'm thinking of another town then. So Castalia is in Erie County. Let's zoom in. So Joe gave us the hookup. So there were basically two reports. There was one over here in Sandusky County, and then we had another one just south of Perkins Township, on the south end of Perkins Township, right there. So there's the two that we have so far. Thank you, Corey, and Dana, for helping me on my map skills. Now I'll figure out where Castalia is and never forget it again. But as all of this has kind of been unfolding, you know, it's kind of hard because the radar does not look impressive, and the radar does not look impressive because this is all very low-level stuff that's going on today. So as of right now, there are no active tornado warnings in northern Ohio. That's the good news. So finally the computer picked up on the cancellation of the Erie and Huron County warning. And now we just have a wind threat. So that we could have some high winds coming into Florence, coming into Vermilion. I'm still thinking there's some kind of circulation, but I think it's just offshore now. So that's a big deep breath right there. Yeah, I think that did bounce out to the right here. So, you know, Vermilion's kind of on the edge of all that. The circulation itself, I think, is off to the north. But, you know, you kind of try and give a little bit of a margin of error to give everybody a wide berth. I tend to like to give these storms, just give them their space, let them do their thing, and we'll keep everybody updated. The lake absolutely lit up. Look at this. I mean, boom. There is line and line and line of storms. So not a good day to be boating, y'all. That is definitely the case. I'm sure some of the ships out on the lake, you know what, Matt, if you want to look up the observations out on the lake and see if any of the ships have reported anything, or the buoys, we might have some buoy winds to report out of this too. There's a couple buoys that sit just offshore Cleveland and whatnot. So that's good. If it's going to like do crazy weather, fine. Put it out over the lake. It doesn't impact the majority of people, and a lot of the big boats, they know how to handle those things. It's the small craft that we have to worry about, and I don't think anybody's really fishing too much these days. But farther south, nothing. Akron, maybe getting a few showers here pretty quick. Canton, maybe a couple sprinkles. Same for Worcester, Mansfield. But it's coming, okay? Just keep that in mind. As we go through the rest of the evening, we will continue to keep an eye out for this line that is still to the west. And as I turn on the radars out of northern Indiana and Wilmington, you could see this line that stretches from Fort Wayne down through Muncie to Indianapolis. There is so much lightning with that. It is unbelievable. And then if we turn on some shear indicators too, you can see there is, pardon me, some shear that is also showing up in this line. So it's an interesting one to watch today for sure. As far as hail goes, the hail threat is pretty minimal, especially here in the greater Cleveland area. We really don't have anything to talk about, and they don't have a ton of hail going on out in Indiana either. So the news is actually pretty good as far as this goes. I'm pleased. And we'll kind of just keep an eye out for what's going to happen with these little cells as they continue to march eastward. I have a feeling we're going to have to be heads up on this stuff that's just now coming into northwest Ohio. And you can see this green box that includes Fort Wayne and Defiance. That is a flash flood warning. So don't forget that if we get into a flash flood warning or a tornado warning, your phone is going to go berserk. And that is the FCC and the cell phone providers kind of getting together to give you very good coverage and imminent weather information. Flash flood is a massive problem. It kills a lot of people because people make bad decisions. They think they can go through flood water and they can't. You just give it that wide berth, let it go. And then tornado warnings, if you are inside of a polygon, if you're inside of that box that they put out for the warnings, then you will end up getting that alert. Sometimes there's quirks in the system. There's times when people in Youngstown will get a warning when the storm is in Toledo and vice versa. But for the most part, it actually works rather well, which is amazing. So that's good news. But yeah, there you go. We're just kind of par for the course at this point. How are you doing on your weather stuff, Wayne?
Good.
Good? Okay.
Yeah.
You're all caught up?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess that's about it. Let me see. Does anybody have any questions? I probably should have been watching to see if you have questions, but I was talking, which is a shock, I know. So feel free to fire away, and I will try and answer as best I can. Let's see. Sirens going off in Avon. Really? Why would the sirens be going off in Avon? Okay, this is where I get like just like twitches and jerks and like I just like I so get amped up. All right, every town, city, township, everybody's got their own rules for when they sound the sirens. You know, in the old days it was a tornado warning or bust, and now there's all these wishy-washy. Well, it's a severe thunderstorm warning. Well, it's this, it's that. Oh boy, NBC is just cutting in with a church shooting in San Antonio. Yuck, that's not good. Let's stay focused on the weather here, though. But Avon is just getting rain right now, and they're probably kind of giving people the heads up about the storm that's to the west. There was a tornado warning that was active for Lorain and west, but not Avon. So that's interesting that that's going off. That's interesting and disappointing all at the same time. Our circulation has picked up a little bit, but it's out over the lake, so it's probably water spouting like crazy out there right now. There it is. You won't see it, so don't look out there. Don't go outside to try and see the water spout if you can. But yeah, that circulation is out over the lake. That's good news. Let's time this line. I'm getting people asking about different things. Yeah, Angie, I agree. That warning, if you got your notification, it's going to pick up, you know, the cell towers within that polygon. So if you were hitting a cell tower that's in that warning area, then you are going to end up getting that warning. So even though it's not necessarily right on you, it's possible that you were hitting that tower, and that's why. Dark in Cleveland, yep, dark and stormy, especially when you start looking north. It's just rain in Elyria. Thank you, Natalie, for the update. It is just rain. All the really nasty stuff is to the north of you. Matt says maybe it was a fire in Avon. I don't know if they sound the sirens for fires. I don't know. That's kind of old school. And usually that's only with volunteer departments, not city-owned departments. But that's just me talking. Didn't get any warnings on my phone. I'm in Lorain. Again, there's glitches. It's not perfect. Okay, Ottawa, Sandusky, and Wood have a severe thunderstorm warning. That was that one that we were watching earlier. Medina County. Let's get back to tracking this. Okay. So if this whole line, let me see where we have some warnings, and I will look up how quick. Well, I'll tell you what, let's kick it old school, shall we? I'm going to back this up 1 hour. And there. Come back here. So there's 1 hour, okay? So I'm going to stick my finger right there and move this forward and watch how fast the back of that line is moving, okay? I'm going to take my little measuring tool and I roll it like this, and it's 65.8 miles per hour. So the big line that is still to the west is moving considerably faster. I'm going to say about 60 miles per hour, and that's the back of the line. So I'm going to start choking here, Wince. Do we have any water over here? I have my coffee. Sorry, everybody. Oh, nothing scalding hot coffee can't help. Ouch.
They put out a mezzo on that store back by Lima.
Yeah.
That might be one to watch later on.
Yeah, long track.
Yeah.
All right. Woo, that was hot coffee too. That's just fantastic. I love it when I really make a big mistake. All right, here we go. I'm going to track the front of this line, okay? Keep in mind there is some rain ahead of this, but as far as the line that we are watching goes, I'm going to move this to the east now. Toledo, Lima, Lorain, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, okay? Yes, it may be raining where you are. You may be hearing thunder, but the line that we are keeping a very close eye on is still back here. There are thunderstorms out ahead of it. There is a potential for severe weather out ahead of this line. But this is the one that's like finally going to make things move along. So 513 for Cleveland, 550 for Akron, 622 for Canton. Based on this particular speed, I put it at 60 miles per hour. So that's just a little old school trickery, but you know, once we get later on into the evening, we'll be obviously getting some updates just simply because it will be here and we'll be able to really track down exactly what we're looking for. Yes, Gloria, the tornado warning for Lorain County is canceled, so that's good news. You're clear. Sandusky, clear from tornadoes? Yes, as of right now, clear. Sandusky, the city of Sandusky is in the clear. You still have some rain and rumbles that are coming through. But as far as the tornado warning, that was canceled or was not allowed to expire, and we'll continue to see that. Man, you can see these storms rotating. Let me slow this down just a little bit. This is kind of cool. So the wind setup that we have today is not perfect for tornado development, but there's a lot of energy and spin. There's a lot of potential for spin in the lower parts of the atmosphere throughout northern Ohio. And you can see these storms. That's the one that we were just dealing with earlier. How the storms themselves have been spinning a little bit. You can kind of see how they dance around each other, start to turn. And that's kind of that sign of this overall, you know, potential for spin. And then once you get down into the nitty-gritty, the lower level things, that's when we would have the tornado threat. And so it's kind of hard when you're dealing with the low levels, and there's just a lot happening in the bigger picture that makes it a little bit more difficult. So the Weather Service is going to be diligent on this today. Willowick. Christopher just said Willowick. I'm assuming you would like to have some timing on Willowick, or maybe you're just telling me to go to Willowick, but the line itself is probably going to be through Willowick probably about 6 or so. So Ashtabula County, Geauga County. This is for the line. Now remember, we have storms that are out ahead of the line. Okay, this is where you kind of get into a catch-22. Do I say, hey everybody, we've got thunderstorms now, or do I say, hey, we're waiting on this line? It's both. Quite honestly, hold on. People are just yelling out their counties. I'm assuming you want forecast information for that, right? I mean, this is a conversation we're having, not barking orders at Betsy. And, you know, keep in mind, I'm tired today, as I'm sure you all are. I may or may not have had a late night at Hofbrau House. May or may not. So we're all in this together. We're going to be nice, okay? Okay, back to this. Here is, and of course that's what gets the thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Here's the line, all right? This is kind of where we're starting to get into the dicey stuff. There is thunderstorm activity, could be damaging thunderstorms ahead of this particular line. But as far as the line goes, the one we're waiting on that has the highest potential for widespread issues is Toledo, Sandusky, Mansfield, Cleveland, Millersburg, Youngstown through 7 o'clock. Let's just say 7 o'clock. So we'll get into this window tonight. It's 3:19 now. I'm going to say between 4 and 7 is going to be our greatest threat, okay? Between 4 and 7. In Cleveland and Akron and all that. Erie County, Huron County, you folks are in it now, so just kind of stay the course, stay on your toes, keep an eye on things. There's another storm that's west of you that could brush into your area, and that's the one that was severe thunderstorm warning earlier. That was out in Wood County, and now that continues to move to the east. Okay, let's see. How's Twinsburg looking? Everybody's in the same boat here. This is not, you know, one city versus another. All of us will be dealing with this tonight, okay, this line as it continues to move to the east through 7 o'clock. So it's just stay on your toes through 7 o'clock. If you are southeast, you have a little bit later window of this threat than areas northwest. So, you know, there's a little bit of common sense that goes with all of this. As you well know, you guys are veteran Ohio weather dealer withers. I know that doesn't make sense, but we have a lot of experience with Ohio weather. We know it can be very volatile, and we know it does make a difference in some cases, north, south, east, west, this city, that city. In this case, we are just giving you the general timeline, the general window when this will be moving in. And that would go for all of us. As you can see, this line of storms stretches from Detroit down to Indianapolis. We just so happen to lie in that corridor. So it's equal opportunity here. And as far as the particular timing, we can't nail down exactly when a thunderstorm is coming. We can just kind of give you the window, and that window is from 4 to 7. If you're closer to the lake shore and in Erie and Huron counties, that window is from now until 7, okay? And that is just because there's a lot of activity out over the lake. We've had these little storms that are riding the lake shore right now in Lorain County. And then this particular storm that just came through Bowling Green, that one's continuing to move to the east too. So that'd be a heads up for Sandusky. So, 15% on my battery. This is going to be fantastic. I think I'm going to probably hand it over to you, Wince. And Sarah, thank you for that. That's very nice. I love to keep an eye out for everybody, because I know it gets a little crazy and people get scared. I get it. I was the kid who was on the couch terrified when Dick Goddard would come on and tell us about a tornado warning. Like, for real. Like, if there was a chance for thunderstorms in the forecast, I was out. I was already in the basement. My parents can attest to this. I had so much nervous energy, I would rearrange the furniture in the house. No lie. My mom would come home from work. My mom worked at Bank One for a few years. Remember Bank One? And my mom would come home from work, and like the furniture would be completely rearranged. I didn't clean while I was doing it, much to her chagrin. But yeah, so I get that nervous energy. Anytime we here, as meteorologists, have a threat going on, we get that nervous energy too. So, you know, we just have to tone it down. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids that are very concerned about, you know, weather and tornadoes and thunder and all that. And so I tend to break it down a little differently. I don't know that I'm so different, but it's just a little bit different way of doing things. So I just like to have conversations with people. Sarah says she's new to Northeast Ohio. This is uncharted territory for me. Girl, you haven't even been through a winter storm yet then. That's like 3 days of doing this. No, I'm kidding. So this, I don't know where you came here from, Sarah, but welcome to Northeast Ohio. It's beautiful here. And we really get a little bit of everything, don't we? And veteran weather dealer withers out there who are with me know that it can be very rapid fire changes, and that's where things get pretty crazy. So today it's thunderstorms. Thank goodness we don't have any snow in the forecast, but there have been days when we have tornado warnings on one side of the state and blizzard warnings on the other. It happens. And you need that powerful type of a storm system to be able to make that happen. So we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with a front that's going to come through. It's going to knock us back into the 40s next week, so it's definitely going to cool us off quite a bit. So let's turn it around. We're going to get you another update here. Hi from Alliance. Hello. And Larry says what's going, or sorry, Ronald says what's going on in Avon Lake. Sandy asks, will Geauga County, Chagrin Falls, get this, all of northern Ohio will be dealing with thunderstorms tonight. It's coming from west to east, so it's equal opportunity. It's just a matter of timing. And the window of the best timing is going to be from 4 to 7, okay, for most of northern Ohio. The farther east you go, the later that is. But right now, the line that we have been watching is just coming over the state line. So let's see. Come on. My phone is not behaving. I don't know. Come on. There you go, little phone. All right. So this is the line right here, okay? That's the one we're waiting on. That's the doozy, as my mother likes to say. It's a doozy. And if we track it to the east at, 60-ish miles per hour, the line itself will be moving through here. There's your time. So about 5 o'clock or so for Cleveland, upwards of 7 o'clock for Youngstown, down to... I would even say 7 to 7:30 for like Tuscarawas and Carroll counties. And then that will last probably at least an hour, maybe 2, and then it's out of here, okay? So that's good news. Then we're in a much better place. But the tornado watch that we have goes till 7, and that does not include areas east of 71 for the most part. It does include some of the area. Let's take a look at that. So here are the current watches, okay? So we have a tornado watch that is in effect for Cuyahoga, Medina, Wayne, Holmes, Lorain, Ashland, Richland, Erie, and Huron counties. That's through 7. We have this flash flood watch that's the green color. That goes until tomorrow morning. Some areas are 4 a.m., some areas are 7 a.m. And that is because these storms are making some big-time rain as they are moving east. And if you get into an area where these storms are going one after the other, which at this point it looks like it's going to be, say north of 224 and along 224, I-76. Right now it looks like that would kind of be the area where the threat for flash flooding would be greatest first, and then it will move to the southeast. But you can see these bright green boxes out here. Those are flash flood warnings. And that's where we probably have a lot of standing water and whatnot. We did, if you're just joining us, we did get some reports. So this is a look at the reports for the day today, the last 6 hours. You can see all the tornado reports down here in Indiana, a lot of wind damage reports, flooding reports up by Fort Wayne, wind damage reports in northwest Ohio, and then we had these 2 that came into here, including Castalia. Now, I know where Castalia is. It's on the south end of Perkins Township, northwest of Milan, and then over here into Sandusky County as well. Looks real bad in Lorain. All right, let's wrap a little bit about looks bad. Okay, when you look outside, you can't always tell exactly how bad it's going to be. This time of the year, we have a low sun angle, so it's going to be a little darker than if it was in the middle of June, but those clouds do tell you that something funny is coming, right? And we do have a pretty potent storm that is moving along the lakeshore and now moving into Lorain County. So now moving into Lorain. You can kind of see how it's moving southwest to northeast. The part of the storm that we were watching that popped those 2 tornado reports west of us is now sitting out over the lake. So I'm thinking there's most definitely a water spout out off of Lorain right now. It just looks like it's a pretty good signature as far as that goes. But we're going to have some heavy rain, some lightning, thunder going on the lakeshore areas of Lorain County back through Amherst, down into Henrietta Township, and then Berlin Heights is already getting the rain. So this is going to continue to move to the east. So Avon Lake is going to start to get those rumbles coming pretty quick. But notice how it's moving southwest to northeast, so it's kind of hard to time everything, because you have to look at not the individual storm movement, which is northeast, but you have to look at how the whole picture is moving, and that is moving slower. So it's going to take its sweet time in doing that. Anything for southern Summit County? Well, not right now. Things look good. Just some sprinkles up around Stowe and Kent, up into Hudson. Silver Lake, Streetsboro is going to get some showers here pretty quick. So that's what you're seeing right there, these little showers here. Can you even see that little cursor? I'm like totally dependent upon that. There, now you can see it. So there's these little showers. So those aren't bad. There's heavier rain that's up in Cuyahoga County. And then back into Lorain County. This is where we're probably getting some very heavy rain coming in right now along the lake shore. And that is, again, the storm itself is moving northeast, but the push of the overall heavy rain is slowly marching eastward. It's going to take its time as it does so. So Becky says not bad in South Lorain yet. Nope, just some rain. You're probably hearing the thunder, though. We had the most magnificent, low, rumbling, long, rolling thunder this morning. I was sitting on my porch with a cup of coffee, and it was wonderful. That rain coming down, it was beautiful. So, not like the sharp, knock your hat off, crazy thunder that we get with, nasty, nasty storms. These are those long, rolling thunder rumbles, and they're really cool. So, all right, anyway, I digress. Let's go out to Lake County. There is a little rumbler coming through North Madison and Madison right now. That will cross over into Ashtabula County and Geneva on the lake area. All of this, again, continues to move to the northeast. So Mentor's getting rain right now. It'll back off a little bit, and then you're going to have another shower that picks up. That particular shower right now is right around Euclid and Bracknell. That will continue to move off to the northeast along the lake shore. So East Lake up into Mentor, Paynesville, getting that one as well. The heavier rain right now is on the lake shore of Lorain County, so the city of Lorain, especially, I guess, along and north of US 6, not 6, 20. And then we go farther west, there's some pretty good rain that's coming down in Erie County. So, how you guys doing out there? Can you tell I'm tired? I am. So it's a good day to be here today. I have a lot. I'm trying to clean my house, and it's not going well when I have to be here. So kudos for those of you who do a better job than me on keeping your houses clean, because I need help. The two girls, they just destroy everything. It's kind of crazy. I actually busted out the line, "This is why we don't have nice things." I totally busted that out. Violet popped Barbie head off. The baby, 2.5, she popped a Barbie head off. So we had to bust out the line, "This is why we don't have nice things." It was kind of embarrassing. So there's a little spin just north of Woodville, west of Port Clinton. That will continue to move to the northeast. Yeah, what's up? We will. Yeah, I don't think, not right now we don't need it. If it's a tornado warning, then we would obviously need it. I'd probably cut in over a cut in, but yeah.
I just pull it out because we are breaking news.
Right, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But it's still every half hour on the watch call. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you,
Let's see. Matt Wintz, I'm using his interface for the chat with the National Weather Service, and he's got all these crazy sounds for everything that updates, and it's making me laugh because one of the sounds is a moo, a cow moo, and I'm like, what is mooing? So anyway, all right. Look out here. Look at these storms. Look at the wind these storms are picking up. Look at that pattern, okay? And if we click back and forth between the reflectivity and that wind, look how cool that is. That's just neat stuff. These are cranking out some good winds out here, out over the lake. Now remember, we're looking up high, so this is not necessarily what's at the surface. We do have some high-speed winds aloft that's going on today, and that's kind of helping out with the situation that we have. But the really high winds, the jet stream winds, actually slow down just east of us, and sometimes that can back up things. So it makes things a little bit crazy at times. So look at Erie County uncensored. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that means. So all right, so here's what we're gonna do. It's 3:30. I'm gonna charge my phone for a little bit because it's about to die, and we are gonna start to change over for news We have news coming up at 6. Matt Wentz is going to take care of that for tonight. And let's see. There we go. I ordered a pizza on my way up here at 2 o'clock, and I haven't even seen it yet. I'm going to track down my pizza, y'all. I'm hungry. And take a little bit of a break. I'll be back on Facebook, though. If you guys like this, I'm more than happy to do this, and maybe I'll do this while Matt is doing news if we really don't need coverage and team coverage. I'm here through at least 6. We'll see how it goes after that, but then I'm going home to put my babies to bed. So, let's see. Okay, that's it. I'm going to release you. Oh, what's this say? Oh, I love it when those spamming people get in there. All right, that's a good time to leave then. So, thanks everybody. I'll see you on the news tonight. The button is behind my little thing, so I don't even know if I can get this thing to stop. See ya. Stop. I can't. Okay.